In this video, I want to talk to you about the real purpose of your marketing, and it's probably not what you think. So if you want better quality clients and a greater flow of them, then pay attention to this. Hey guys, Yuri Elkaim here, founder and CEO of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals and coaches get clients and scale their businesses online without the grind. And I've been online since end of 2005 in the health and fitness space. And I want to share just very honestly, like from that time until the end of 2009, I struggled in a very large way. Essentially what I mean by struggled is I was working progressively in my online business to the point where I totally moved away from working with clients in person, but I was still making poverty line income. And that was a really, really challenging time. And the problem was that I tried to do all this stuff by myself. And like you, most likely, like I graduated from school, I was very good at what I did in terms of helping clients, but I had no business acumen. I had no idea about marketing. I didn't even know what it was. I was terrible at selling, all that stuff. So it took me a long time to really understand that marketing is the lifeblood of your business, and it's not something you can delegate. I mean, there are aspects of marketing that you can delegate, but what most health professionals that I've worked with over the years, and that's thousands now, most of them, what they want to do is they want to teach, they want to share their word, they want to kind of spread their message, and all of that I want you to understand is marketing. So if you want to speak on podcasts, if you want to speak from stage, if you want to do TV appearances, that's all marketing. It's all marketing, okay? So whether we're building a funnel, writing ads, sending out emails, or appearing on Dr. Oz, it's all marketing. And the way I see this is marketing, this is kind of my own definition, is marketing is the process of building relationships in your marketplace to the point where people know, like, and trust you, so that selling becomes almost unnecessary. The longer you are in business, the easier selling becomes. And the reason for that is because marketing is like planting a bamboo tree. It can take a very long time for your marketing efforts to yield dividends. In the sense of a bamboo tree, it might take several years before it breaks the surface. But as soon as it does, it just takes off. So recently we had a new client enroll with us, and he was telling us that he had followed my stuff for 2 years. He was already sold. There was basically, it was order taking at that point. Just like such a great guy, pleasure to speak with. And I'm like, this is an example. And we've had many conversations with clients like this, where they're like, I've listened to your podcast, I've watched all your stuff, I've seen all the case studies several times. And that's the power of marketing, because marketing is selling at scale. Instead of one-on-one conversations, like this is a form of marketing where I'm sharing an idea with you and thousands of other people. And for some people, it's going to resonate. And for other people, they've already stopped watching. So this gets me to the real crux of what marketing is. Marketing is two things. It is a magnet that attracts the right people, and it's mosquito repellent that repels everyone else. And the thing that we all have to really get better at is being the truest version of ourselves. And this can be challenging. What I mean by this is everyone's trying to bite their tongue these days. Everyone's trying to be politically correct. Fuck that. Because you have to speak your truth. And if you look at the people who have the largest followings, the most ravenous fans, they are people who are unapologetically themselves. And if you are you, I'm not saying you have to be like me or anyone else, like you do you, whatever that is. The more you are you, the easier it's going to be for you to attract the right people to you. Because there's something about your conviction, about your message, about your belief system, about your philosophy, about the opinions you hold, that some other people are going to resonate with, and they're going to say, this is my person, this is my tribe, I resonate with this philosophy. Now, the challenge a lot of times is you may not hear from those people when you put your stuff out there. You'll hear from the trolls. You'll hear from the naysayers. You will hear like people leaving comments talking shit about you. These people are retarded, okay? They don't know you. And so you can't worry about what they say about you. It says more about them. So the easiest way to deal with that is you delete their comments and you don't even give it any energy. Now, so going back to the premise of marketing, building relationships with your marketplace to the point where they know, like, and trust you so that selling becomes almost unnecessary. It's hard to do that on day zero. No one knows who you are. You have no credibility, perhaps, although you might be an amazing health expert, no one knows who you are. So it takes time to build that, right? And that's why you have to extend the time horizon. You have to think of your business as not something that has to make it in the next year. Otherwise, this is a waste of time. I mean, think about 20 years down the road. What could your business look like 20 years down the road? And if you take that approach, you're going to do a lot better, right? If you make decisions that are more long-term focused than short-term focused, you will do almost, no harm to your business. Maybe I shouldn't say that's obviously a pretty absolute term answer, but the reality is, like, when you think long-term, you make better decisions because you make the right decisions. It's not about, I got to make money today, right? I'm going to bend my integrity and ruin my reputation to get someone to give me money. That's not what this is about. This is part of the reason why I sold my previous company, because the company got to a point, where the business model was so complex and we had to promote and sell so many things, based on the way it was set up and low price stuff and like all sorts of nonsense. And we were making decisions that were very short-term focused because we had to. And I didn't feel good about that. Someone buys one of our books, the next day we're promoting someone else's book on the same topic. For what? Not because we wanted to, but because we had to make the money to cover the cost of acquisition. Like, it's insane. And so by contrast, this Healthpreneur YouTube channel doesn't have, as of this recording, doesn't have a huge number of followers compared to my other channel, which has more than 300,000. But I don't care. And someone was asking me, he's like, hey man, like, you've got hundreds of videos and only just over 3,000 subscribers whenever you posted it. He's like, how do you keep going? And I told him, I'm like, I do this because I create this content for myself. Because I know that, number one, I spend a lot of time in the trenches with our marketplace, with my clients, with prospective clients. I have a very good pulse on our audience. And that's very important for me as a CEO, because otherwise I'm just disconnected in a different planet. So number one, I see a lot of what holds people back. I see what a lot of people are looking for, and I want to be able to share that content in a very free manner. Second, a lot of times I just want to share stuff that's on my mind, and this is just the easiest outlet I have for me. And I said third is, I don't care if anything comes from this YouTube channel, these videos, for the next 10 years, because I don't need it to. Our business is doing great, and this is not our main channel of acquisition. However, 10 years down the road, I can promise you this will be a major play for our business, but it took time to build that up. So what I want to suggest to you, and just for context, if I had to start a YouTube channel and have that YouTube channel be the reliant source of traffic and clients for our business, I wouldn't be doing this, because we would be out of business, which is why we recommend our clients all build out a perfect client pipeline and learn how to attract clients through paid traffic. And then once they have that foundation, like we do, which still accounts for 95% of our revenue, then you have a bit more bandwidth to do stuff like this. And if you look at a lot of the famous people, right, quote unquotes, a lot of them figured out the business piece, made their money first, and then got into the content game. I'll give you some examples. So Gary Vee, right? Everyone sees Gary Vee shooting videos all over the place. But we tend to forget that he helped his parents build their wine store from a couple $1 million to like $60 million. And in that process, he started Wine Library TV, which was a bit more of a YouTube channel at the time. But he was just grinding away in the trenches, building the business. Now he has a team of more than 500 people. And again, I don't know the nuances of what he does, but he has the luxury of spending a lot more time building his personal brand now that he's already built the business to begin with. Or we look at Grant Cardone, who was in automotive sales, all sorts of we're talking like 2 decades of mastering a skill, of selling, of making money, although he publicly talks about the fact that he didn't do financially as well as he would have, even into his 50s. And then he gets into documenting everything, putting everything up online, becoming the brand that he is. Or Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins started off with small little sessions, one-on-one, small little, evening type of workshops, and then it turned into what it is now. You have to understand that this journey is it's very hard to stay in business if the goal is only to just pump out content, because no one's going to see your stuff. You have to learn how to make dollars and cents. You have to learn how to acquire clients. You have to learn how to transform them and allow that word of mouth to spread over time. But that takes time. So how do we do that? How do you take the principle of marketing? And again, there are many forms of marketing, like organic content marketing, paid marketing, affiliate marketing, etc. But if you understand the basic premise that your goal in marketing, you as the founder, not anyone else, this is not some agency is going to do this, no VA from the Philippines is going to do this, because they're going to tank your business if you give this to them. You know your message, you know your product, you know your audience better than anyone else. Because if you're like me, you were your perfect client many years ago, perhaps, or you've worked very closely with them. Your messaging is the most important piece of your marketing. Because if no one feels understood by you, no one's going to listen to you. And if no one listens to you, then your business is done. So you have to obsess about your target audience. One of our clients is just killing it in terms of her critical numbers. When I say critical numbers, she's getting calls booked for $17. Most of our clients get calls booked north of $50. Her cost per lead is $1.40 into her perfect client pipeline. She spent $80 and enrolled 2 clients for more than $4,000 each. And I'm like, it's just crazy. And I asked her, I'm like, because we're on a coaching call with a bunch of other clients. And I just asked her, I'm like, hey, just for some differing insight, can you share what's worked for you with everyone else here? And she said, listen, I just had an opportunity to interview all my clients. And so I interviewed all of them. I took extensive notes and I just used their languaging in my marketing. There you go. Okay. That is the secret sauce. When you use the words that your prospective clients use and think, and you put it right back in front of them, you win. But when I say you win, they win. Okay. Because they feel understood by you. But a piece of that is obviously it has to be about them, right? But another question a lot of people are always asking is, who are you? Why are you different? Or are you just one of those other, whatever, coaches, practitioners, etc.? And this is where you have to really infuse your own secret sauce, which is you. If you don't swear, don't swear. If you swear, I have friends that swear all the time on their content, and it's off-putting, right? I drop the occasional F-bomb here and there, and that's just me, right? But if that's not you, don't do it. If you're not super opinionated about stuff, then that's not you. I'm very opinionated about stuff, and I will shout this stuff until I die, because I have a lot of conviction around it. You have conviction around something, and you just need to be able to speak that truth over and over and over and over again. And it's going to sound massively redundant to you, and that's good. You want it to be redundant to you. You want your marketplace to constantly hear the same message over and over and over again, so they can make an association with who you are as a person, as a brand, as a company, so that they can have an affinity or not to you, right? Harley Davidson, I could care less. I'm not going to get a Harley Davidson tattoo on my arm. Does that mean Harley Davidson gives a shit about me and is like, you know what, we should appeal to more guys like Yuri? They don't care. They know who their avatar is. They know who their avatar is. I was speaking with a friend on the weekend. We were at a bit of a car rally, and he's like, would you ever get a different car other than a McLaren? And I said, probably not. I'm definitely not a Porsche guy. I'm not a Ferrari guy. Can't stand Lambos. And I love McLarens. And I've associated with that brand just because that's just the way it is. And we all do this in some way, shape, or form. So number one is you have to stand for something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm vanilla ice cream. No, you want to be like mint chocolate chip. And if people don't like mint chocolate chip, too bad. They can go somewhere else. And the biggest thing that's going to hold you back in business, that holds all of us back, is your fear of being disliked. Your fear of being disliked. And how does that show up? It shows up as you not sharing your true voice because you're afraid that people might get pissed off, right? Trying to be politically correct, trying to like appease everyone, please everyone. It's ridiculous, and you can't. And you have to speak your truth. And I wish more people did this, because I think everyone behind closed doors is begging to hear people speak their truth. And instead what we're hearing is this like, equal opportunity for everyone bullshit. Listen, like I understand, I'm not trying to say like everyone shouldn't have equal opportunity. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying by this. But you have to take a stance. And sometimes that might be very polarizing, etc. Like I have someone who's asking me on Instagram, what would you recommend I do if I'm starting up a dermatology clinic? And I told her I would run away as fast as possible. I would never in my life start a brick and mortar practice, and here's why. Some people might be like, that's crazy, Yuri. I'm like, it is crazy, but you know what else is crazier? Is setting up a friggin' prison for yourself and working 18 hours a day. Now, some people might not agree with that, but guess what? I do not give a shit, because I'm not speaking to those people. And hopefully maybe I'm knocking some sense into their brain about why grinding away one-on-one for the next 20 years is a recipe for burnout, misery, and more. And some people don't like that, but I don't care. Because those who understand that message, understand the opportunity online is not going away. It's only bigger than it ever has been, and it's going to continue to grow. And if you don't ride the wave, you'll be crushed by the wake. And is that to say that running a brick and mortar is ever going to go out of style? No, 100% not. Like if you're a chiropractor and you still want to have a practice, go for it. I'm not saying there's never a place for that. But my philosophy, my opinion, how we've built our business is we're not touching that. Not that it doesn't have a place in the world. I just don't want anything to do with it. And again, like at some point, you have to take a stance for what you believe in, what you believe to be true. And your marketing ultimately is more about what you believe than what you know. And I think a big mistake a lot of people make with their marketing is they're sharing a lot of content, how to, very tactical stuff. Has its place. It has its place. But you want to also share a lot more of who you are, what you believe to be true, your philosophy, the inner workings of how you see the world, because your worldview is one of the things that differentiates you. And if we completely negate that because we're trying to be vanilla and we don't want to step on people's toes, it's going to be challenging. Some of our best clients have very strong opinions, and they're very vocal about it in everything they do. They have the largest followings, the most ravenous followings, they make the most money, and they help the most people. That's just what I've observed. So anyways, that is the true purpose of marketing, to attract the right people, repel everyone else. And if people get pissed off at you, you know you're doing a good job. If you're trying to please everyone, that's a bit of a warning flag. So if this message resonates with you, let me know what really has kind of got you thinking in the comments below. And if you have any questions around marketing, let me know as well, so I can shoot some more videos on this topic for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos coming up, because I don't really have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. It's just kind of like whenever it happens. And I'd hate for you to miss out. So thank you so much again for your time and attention. I appreciate you. Keep rocking it, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.